Right. That's the cue. The show begins. All right. I'm pleased to welcome everyone to our October membership meeting. I'm Graham Murphy, Chair of the 34th District Democrats. I'm officially calling our October 2024 meeting to order at 7:12 p.m. So a couple things. If you have not picked up your PCO materials, please head in the back and get those. They're all about freedom. That's what this election's about. I'm so happy we reclaimed that word. We also have yard signs from various candidates, including I just saw Nick Brown brought some yard signs. They used to be $25 on his website, so you can get them for free here. And then throughout the night, we have 24 of these Washington for Harris Walls signs, custom, provided by the state party. So we're gonna be handing those out. If you put your name in the basket, we'll call out some names throughout the night. And thanks to Ted for bringing them from, where did they come from? Yakima. The basket is at the front desk where you sign in. So put your name on a post-it and we'll pull them out. So you can see on the screen the proposed agenda for our meeting this evening. This was previously sent to PCOs and members. Is there any discussion on the agenda?
Move to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Excuse me, who, Brian,
What?
you moved?
Yes, he moved.
And then Mike Parker.
Okay.
Any objections? Any objections? Hearing no objections, the motion passes by unanimous consent. The agenda is adopted. The membership meeting minutes from our September meeting were previously sent to PCOs and members. Any adjustments or changes to the minutes? Any amendments to the minutes? All right, someone want to make a motion?
Move to adopt.
Second?
Second. Mike Parker.
Okay, any objection to the adoption of the minutes? Hearing no objections, all right, the motion passes, the minutes are adopted. I'm now gonna invite Julie up to, Julie, are you here? Okay, share our September financial data. We will send a full report out next month. We had some snags with importing data into the system, but the numbers up here are accurate.
Okay. All right, hi everybody. Our beginning balance, can you see through me? Our beginning balance was $21,539.51. Our income was $722.94. Our expenses were $6,314.15. 4,500 of that were campaign contributions. So that was the bulk of that. We did a really good job on that one. And our ending balance was $15,948.30. Anybody got questions? No? Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna turn things over to Rachel Glass to share our land.
On behalf of the 34th LD Democrats, I acknowledge the land on which we stand today as the traditional home of the Coast Salish and Duwamish people, the traditional home of all tribes and bands within the Suquamish, Tulalip, Snoqualmie, Puyallup, and Muckleshoot nations. Without them, we would not have access to this gathering or to this dialogue. And I ask that we take the opportunity to thank the original caretakers of this land on which we live and work, who are still here. And as part of the 34th Dems' commitment to walking the walk, of taking action that goes beyond simply a verbal land acknowledgement, we are offering ways that you can take action with us by donating to organizations that benefit Indigenous communities in our district and across our country. Please consider your personal donation to be a way to solidify your commitment to the advocacy of our Indigenous neighbors. And tonight's organization that I am highlighting is the Potlatch Fund. So you can take down this information, and I hope that you go visit to learn more about this organization. And that is that. So thank you, everybody. Back to you, Graham.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna now invite our committee, Chris Porter, I think it's you, is gonna share about our awards. Yes. So our committee that is planning our awards ceremony, which is at our November meeting, is up and running, and thank you to Chris and Martin and Ted for heading up the committee. And Chris is gonna share some details about the awards and how you can participate.
Oh, so.
What?
So as you know, each year, we want to recognize people who've done work in our district with these awards. And I think some of them are self-explanatory. For instance, elected official of the year, the Sharisa Lugza Award for Lifetime Achievement. And I do want to add some clarification to this. This particular award really would be thinking about someone in the district that has participated for quite some time, both inside the district and outside. For instance, they could have been chair of the West Seattle Democratic Women's Organization or some other organization as well, that we know that their work can be seen in community and even maybe even across the county. So that Lifetime Achievement Award really looks at someone who has over a significant period of time been a notable Democrat and has espoused those democratic values that we so are proud of. The Jackie Duprat Award Member of the Year, I think that's pretty explanatory there. And then the Executive Board Member of the Year, PCO of the Year, Rising Star of the Year, and Outstanding Committee/Caucus of the Year. Here's the other thing too, we're not obligated to make sure all of the awards are given out. Perhaps this might be the cycle where we don't have a Lifetime Achievement Award or an Elected Official of the Year, whatever. Nonetheless, that should not stop any and everyone from putting nominations forward for any category that you feel you know someone that you want to nominate. We have planned that the forms are due. There we are, November 1st. And so I believe if I understand the system, if you fill it out online, then it comes back to me. Or who does it find?
It will come to the whole committee.
It'll come back to
The whole
it goes to the whole committee. So everyone in the committee will see these awards. So when we get together to discuss them and assess them out, no one should be in the dark about it. And you wanted to add something, please.
Yes. I've been talking too much back there. Anyway, we have 3 committee members. We could use more. And so if you are interested, please let us know. You want me to give my email address?
Please give your
Okay.
email.
You can reach me at Martin, HTAM, it's my husband's initials and my initials, at gmail.com. And I am glad to pass on the names to Chris and Ted, and we'd love to have you. This will probably be a Zoom conference among the committee members, so please volunteer.
Thank you, and that really is important. We really would like to see more membership involved in evaluating these nominations and coming and helping us reach consensus to award them. So please, 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 if you're at all interested, put your name in to be part of the committee. Questions?
Okay.
Pencil down into 4 or 5 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna call out some names. If you win the drawing, feel free to pick out a sign from the box there and take one of the sticks. Peter Newbold. Betsy Bruce. Maggie Asplund. Teresa Hill. Shalia. And Don Brubeck. All right. We'll call out some more names as the night goes on. I'm now gonna invite Nick to share some get up the vote preparation for our, this clicker is just not agreeing with me. To share with our PCOs and anyone else that wants to canvass. Nick has cut lists, so if you are interested and you're not a PCO, he's cut lists that it'll take about 30 minutes or so to knock on doors in a local community and make sure folks get out and vote.
Great, thank you. Everybody, all PCOs, I diligently worked this week to make sure that you got your walk list, that you've already got them. If you did not get them, let me know, or maybe look in your junk mail. We also are looking for members who would like to maybe help us this year in canvas. We have some open precincts in various places in Seattle, Burien, and in White Center also. Pick up the door hangers at at the back as you've been told. I'll be back there. And also we have also some information, more information. It's also on the sample ballot that we have, but we also have stuff from Defend Washington. Take as much as you like. And one of the things as you look at our leave behind that we have, the sample ballot, I think everybody knows the top of the ticket. If they haven't, then if your voters have not seen who the top of the ticket is, I think everybody knows who that is. And then if you even go further down, we all know that Bob Ferguson is on the ticket. But what's really important is when you go down the ballot and you look at all the state races that are open, you look at our city council race, that's very important. And judges, this day and age, judges are huge. That's very important. And we have Sam Mungia is a Supreme Court candidate for the Washington State Supreme Court. So down the ballot is huge. And if you canvass, you talk to a voter, that's what you have to do. You have to talk about down the ballot. And also, turnout. Turnout is huge. In 2020, in the presidential election, the 34th had an 87% turnout, and the county had an 85% turnout. And when King County votes like that, it doesn't matter what the rest of the state does. It's us, it's here in King County. So PCOs, remember that when you're canvassing. So then that's it. That's what I have to say.
Thanks. Dave Horn, Chautauqua Precinct, Vashon Island, most beautiful place on earth. I love doorbelling. How many of you have doorbell? Most of you, but maybe not all of you. Well, you will find a new life if you go doorbelling. It's good exercise. You get to meet new people. And you really make a difference, as Nick said. Campaigns with the best ground game tend to win, and if you're doorbelling, you're part of the ground game. What I did in July and what I'm gonna do in the coming weeks is go up to somebody's door. I'm gonna say, hi, I'm Dave Horn, I'm your friendly Democratic Precinct Committee Officer. I've brought you a list of candidates and positions endorsed by the 34th District Democrats. By that time, you will probably know where they stand. Either they'll say, you know, somebody just shake their head or something like that. But most people, this is supposed to be a list of Democrats. And so most people are cheerful and friendly and, oh, thank you. And so that's good. And then if you don't get much of a reaction, the main thing to ask is, are you going to be voting for the Democrats this time? And again, most people will say, well, who the hell else would I vote for? But it's important to record, to get that information. And you want to leave them with some takeaways. It's helpful, really helpful to the campaign to vote early so that we can stop pestering them to get their ballot in. It's important to vote all the way down to the bottom of the ballot. It's unbelievable how many people skip even really important races. In the Up the Grove recount, where he ended up winning by 48 votes, there were thousands and thousands of people who voted for no one in the Lands Commissioner race. Just a handful of those could have changed the outcome. It's a good idea to bone up at least a little bit on the candidates and the initiatives, because when you present yourself at the door, you become, in their eyes, kind of a mini expert, or at least someone whose opinion might be worth listening to. And so, you know, they'll ask you, I know a lot of people will ask about the initiatives, they're gonna ask about judges, and it's good to have just something that you can say about each of them. On the initiatives, by the way, I think the most effective thing, I don't know how many of you have seen this ad, is to just say, there's this zillionaire who moved up from California, didn't like some of our laws, and bought himself a bunch of ballot initiatives to try to help other zillionaires like himself, and we're voting no.
Trying to dodge paying income tax in California.
That's, there you go, that's it. I put my name and number on the flyer. And then once in a while, somebody will have follow-up questions and call or text. More often, somebody texts and says, thank you, oh, this is wonderful. And then when Nick's gonna, I think, are you gonna talk about the minivan thing? It's important there's some survey questions on the list. I don't stand there in front of a voter and fill those out. I usually, walk away out to the street, to my car or whatever, and then fill that out. And that's it. Back to the amazing Nick. Thanks.
If the list that I sent you has a number on it, it has a number on the map, and it also, each page has your list number at the bottom. I encourage you to use minivan, and thank you. During the primary, we had many PCOs use minivan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of that information gets synced immediately into VoteBuilder, the Democratic RDNC database. So it's very important. Candidates, when they're running for office, look through VoteBuilder, just like how I mine Democrats. They mine Democrats to get out the vote for them. Mercedes Rink, she will have somebody going through looking for Democrats. So where do I knock on the door? Where am I going to get a vote from? It's going to be from that. So it's very important to keep up and to use minivan, because it automatically, like magic, syncs right into VoteBuilder. And but if you don't have a smartphone, let me know. Give me your list. and I will enter that into Vote Builder. But it's very important that we enter our canvas into Vote Builder. And in the script, it'll say, will you be voting 100% Democrat? Do you lean Democrat, unknown or whatever? But everybody that you have on your list, PCOs, they're Democrats. They're not, there's no in between. We all have scores. Don't ask me how they do scores, but they're very strong. We go from lean Democrat to strong Democrat to independent Democrat. So that's it. That's what I have to say. And any questions? You've got my email address. You got my telephone. Call me, and if I can help you, let me know.
Oh, people that want to do it that are not.
What's that?
People that want to.
Oh, thank you. I have a list of empty precincts in the back where if a PCO does, or if a member, we have an empty precinct that nobody's going to be covering. We're talking about maybe 50, 60 voters. I've done that for the coordinated campaign. It takes about 2 hours. It's very easy to do. And I have the list. Let me know. The lists are in Seattle, Burien, and White Center. Janelle?
I was just looking for this, so can you confirm what the dates are for like updating registration and in person or online? You know, what can you send out to us?
Yeah, anyone canvassing, asking about voter registration?
Yeah, there's a bunch of X's in the script. Update by the registration by XXX, just this.
Oh, yes, on the email that I sent, there's a whole list of things. By the way, the ballots will be mailed a week from today. So that's on there. And also too, on that email, there is it October 28th? Is it the last time that somebody could register to vote?
And purpose.
Yeah.
And on November 1st, or November 5th, you can actually go to Renton and vote and register and vote there. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, are indeed all of the initiatives on our ballot?
Everyone, 4 of them.
Sometimes we get stuff.
No, they're all there. And also too, is usually when I canvass, there's a couple of things that I'll circle. This year, I'm going to be circling Dave Updegrove on there, and I'm going to be circling those initiatives. And I have more stuff from Defend Washington if you want it. There's more stuff.
Where?
In the back. In the back.
If you have Canvas Curious people, you have the ability to match them up with.
It's kind of hard, but okay. If you would like a buddy, let me know. And if I can find somebody, I will try. And Summer, thank you very much. I'll let you know. And
This is a bit off topic, but I observed at the High Point Library Dropbox in the primary, at least 8 people brought their ballots after the ballot box closed.
Yeah.
So encourage people to vote early if they're going to do a Dropbox. Don't wait till the last minute. A stoplight may keep your vote from being registered.
That's right.
So tell people to vote early. As Nick said, they go off and so they don't get mailings and such. If everybody in their household votes.
that's right.
So, yeah, so encourage people to vote early. Not often, but early.
I also say, my neighbors know that I come and bang on their door every cycle, twice every year. And I always say, well, if you just vote, I won't come to your door. And that goes over really well.
checked, we voted on that number.
And
Can you just remind everybody when ballots are dropping?
they will mail them a week from today. So next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is when people will start getting ballots into the weekend, usually. If somebody doesn't get a ballot by Monday or Tuesday, if you're canvassing with somebody and somebody says that, I haven't gotten a ballot yet or whatever, you know, what I should do is send the King County Elections, because they're very good. They actually answer the telephone, and they will get a ballot out to the voter immediately. So if that's the case, they have to call King County Elections. Yes.
I have a friend who's registered, and she says she votes online.
No.
Does she live here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no online.
Well, that's not exactly.
No.
Our son who is in Germany registered at home, but he gets an online ballot. I don't know if there is alternative format balloting that is allowed in this county. And if you ever want to see the kinds of ballots, elections get it. And elections say they want to have as many people vote as possible. I don't know what the situation is with your friend, but if there's some kind of problem in terms of being able to complete a ballot, perhaps they give online access. I don't know, but there are online versions available. You can vote by email and
It's rare and very special circumstances. That's something anybody can just sign up to do.
that's what I'm not sure.
The last 2 pages of They Represent You has King County Elections, their phone, lots of frequently asked questions, and their phone number and website.
Yeah.
So I always carry this with me, so people, you know, because it's a good compendium of who could be on the ballot or go to contact people. But the last 2 pages of this booklet talk about reaching King County Elections and frequently asked questions about how to correct issues or how do I get made a mistake, how I correct it.
Sure. What's really important too is when you get the ballot, they also have they have where the drop boxes are, where you can get, you know, where you can put it in, so which is very good. And also too, remind people to sign the envelope. And also to put their telephone number on there, their email address. We will never see it. It's not going to be in gold number. It's not public. But King County Elections will see it. And if there's something wrong with their ballot, they'll get an email right away or a telephone call from King County Elections instead of doing it via the post office. So that's really important. Yes.
They text me when they receive the ballot, when they okayed the
That's right.
signature, and when it's been counted. I love it.
That's incredible. That's very good. They just started doing that this past election. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, right on your telephone. Yeah. Any questions, PCOs? You got?
Yeah, Nick in minivan, it says, I'm going through my list here, it says people have voted already. Is that
Yes.
right?
They have a white
And that's interesting. Yeah, early voting. Yeah. How about that? Who did they vote?
Before the
Oh,
ballot.
Nick,
Yes.
some of those people might be voters abroad.
Yes.
Friends I spoke with yesterday had their ballots and showed me.
Yeah. Cool.
The primary votes would already be out, right?
Can you just log, if you know anybody who is abroad, outside the country, as a student, tourist, or working outside the country, if they go to votefromabroad.org, it has the proper form and all the information about how to get your ballot. It is important, overseas voters were greater than the margin of victory in Georgia and Arizona in 2020. And actually, Donald Trump has sent out a tweet saying they're trying to stop overseas voting in Pennsylvania right now. They won't get it done. So it is important, and if you know anybody, even if they're traveling, King County is very, very good about getting your ballot. Okay.
A lot of people are in the armed forces too.
Sure. My daughter lives in London and she's a very good voter. Yeah, very easy. Any questions? And you've got my information, please contact me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And help in all Summer's suggestion, let me know if you need, if you need some help. So, do you have something to say about that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Are you gonna let me get on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
Thanks for making it.
I've been working with high school kids for a very long time. And actually, I had a whole group that spoke at one of Eric Blue's conferences about being a citizen. And they're an outdoor group that took kids on trips all throughout Washington, Hawaii, you name it. And they did it. It was student run. I was their teacher for 1 year and then advisor for many more, because I didn't ever want to leave them. But I'm going into the high schools. Tomorrow I go to West Seattle. And on next Tuesday, I will go to South. And there's a civics club at West Seattle, and they're going to help me register kids. I have to go as a neutral. I can't go as a Democrat. I have to be neutral. Well, there are eight people running for president, 8 parties. And Mr. Kennedy quit and went with Trump. So, but there are still 8. And I've heard back from 6 of those parties because I wanted to know that if the kids emailed them or went up on their website, that they would respond. And so I want us to respond as well, because we need to nurture. Kids have that energy and they are really excited. The teachers are very excited that I'm coming to ask them to work on the campaign. So if you want help, and I'm talking about energy, and I know that's what I want. and the only thing that I ask of you is that you listen to them there. I learn more from my students than I could have ever given to them. They just were so incredible. They blew my mind continuously about how they saw how things should be worked on and done. And so these kids, this is a big election and an important one. And so I hope you will. I hope you'll want to work with them and enjoy being with them, and some kind of, kids are kids, but they're nice to work with. So, and I'm going to also ask them to look up the candidates as well, if they want to go work for a candidate and that. But I'm hoping that they'll come along with the 34th and work with us and maybe even get involved, okay?
I'm gonna pull some more names and I'm gonna invite our candidates up to rally us ahead of election day. Erica Herfindahl? Okay. Carrie Sikorsky. Richard Bartlett. Jean Hamilton. Woo! Patricia Hudson. Rachel Glass. Chris Porter. Kim Wallagorska. sorry. Ann Anderson. Ed Dupross. Tamsin Spangler. I'm counting.
Okay. Well, no,
Are we dwindling? Well, oh, I counted them.
Oh, you did.
Yes, Summer. And Sarah Leon. A few more to go, I think. All right, so with ballots, as Nick said, ballots are going out next week. And we need to return them as soon as possible and get our neighbors to return them. And to fire us up, I'm gonna invite our candidates that are here with us tonight to rally us and get us revved up for the upcoming election. And I'm first gonna ask Representative and Majority Leader Joe Fitzgibbon.
Thank you, Graham. Thank you, all of you. So, who remembers by what margin Dave Updegrove made it into the general election? How many votes? 49 votes. How many people are in this room? There's probably like about that many, you know? So like, if you think about, it's not just the 34th legislative district, you know, overall that made his margin, but it might have been people in this room. Now, I don't know who you all voted for. I voted for Dave Updegrove. But if you all voted for Dave Updegrove, there's a pretty good chance that his margin of victory, you know, and like victory in the sense that he made it through the primary, is right here in this room. And so what do we learn from that? This district is the engine of Democratic success in this state. And when we look at the elections on the ballot this November, the 34th legislative district can be the margin of victory for the Democratic position and the things that we care about, the things that we are fighting for as Democrats every day. The Initiative 2117 is the most important election for the fate of our progress in the fight against climate change, perhaps with the exception of the presidential election. You know, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, very important, but we know that they're going to win Washington State. Initiative 2117, after that, is the most important election in the fight against climate change, because states around the country are watching Washington, and they are watching what is happening with Initiative 2117 to decide if they are going to double down in the fight against climate change. States like New York and Colorado and Oregon and Minnesota and Illinois and Massachusetts and Maryland, they are all watching this election. I hear from folks in that state say, what's going to happen? Are you guys going to beat that initiative that hedge fund guy from California is funded? They know about it. They're watching it. The margin of victory could be right here in the 34th district, and that margin of victory is counting on all of us to vote, to turn out our neighbors, and to talk to everybody in our networks, including people who don't live in the 34th, to make sure that they understand what is at stake this November. Obviously, we know what is at stake in the presidential election. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about what's at stake in the presidential election. But we can do more than that. We can do more than deliver Washington's electoral votes for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. We can send a message to the entire country that we are not going back in the fight against climate change. That is not the only important initiative on the ballot. All 4 initiatives would set our progress back. All 4 initiatives are counting on a big turnout in the 34th district to deliver a no vote, to deliver to continue Washington's progress, to ensure that we have long-term care insurance for seniors, to ensure that we have energy efficiency incentives for people so that people can heat and cool their homes more cheaply than they do today, to ensure that we have a capital gains tax to make sure that the wealthiest people in Washington State are paying their fair share for our schools and our colleges and universities and our childcare. Every single one of those is counting on us here in the 34th to do our part, because the difference between defeating those by 80% and defeating them by 85% could very well be the margin of victory. 49 votes is all it took to get Dave Upthegrove into the general election. He's gonna win the general election. Of course, that's another election we have to make sure we're turning people out for. But never, ever, ever forget how close these statewide elections can be and how important it is for us to do the work that we show up every month to do here at the 34th. So thank you so much. Let's, we got 27 days left. Let's go do it.
All right, I'm now happy to introduce our next Seattle City Council member, Alexis Mercedes Rink. Also, democracy vouchers in the back if you want to contribute to her campaign. Please be sure to donate. This is like the Price is Right. All right, we should have you all do.
Good evening, everybody. How are folks feeling? There we go. My name is Alexis Mercedes Rink, in case we haven't had the honor of meeting yet, and I'm running for Seattle City Council to fight for a city that works for all of us and not just the ultra wealthy few. I believe I'm up here to make sure that we do a special nudge to make sure we have folks vote all the way down the ballot. Now, this is a really unique opportunity. A lot of folks don't know about this race. We usually don't vote on Seattle City Council or local races the same year as presidential elections, which makes this really a special and unique opportunity. So this is a special election. This is the only local race happening right now. And there's a lot at stake. I think that many folks in this room know just how important and critical well-functioning local government is for our communities. We're talking about things like building housing that we know we desperately need, expanding our transit system, having safe roads and buses that are able to serve our communities, making sure we invest in young people and support also our clean energy future across the city. So your city does a lot of work. We want to make sure that we are addressing our budget deficit while fully funding our city services, and that's why this race matters so much. We have an opportunity to bring some balance to council. And this is a really unique opportunity to show how Seattle actually will vote in a local race. Turnout is on our side this year, and we want to make sure that we have a strong showing. And so with that, I want to thank you all for your endorsement in this race. Division is everywhere. We all feel it. This is a campaign that is uniting Seattle. This is a campaign that has brought together you all, but also we've gotten the sole endorsement of every legislative Democratic Party organization within the city of Seattle. And we also brought together a number of amazing unions representing frontline workers, from our nurses, bus drivers, electricians, childcare workers, and so much more. There's an amazing opportunity to flip the script, change their narrative, and say, we are a lot more united than they will have us believe. So thank you again for your endorsement. Remind folks to make sure they vote all the way through their very, very long ballot this year. And thank you for taking the time to talk to your neighbors. Relational organizing is everything. It's what ultimately moves the needle, and I'm excited to be able to serve on Seattle City Council. Thank you.
All right, now let me welcome up our representative Emily Alvarado, who I think got the most votes in the 34th. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Well, you've heard it all. I don't have to tell anyone in this room that this is the most consequential election, certainly in my life, but I imagine in all of our lives. This is the most consequential election, and we just have a few weeks left. And certainly at the top of the ticket, we have a fight for our democracy. But up and down the ticket, really it is, are we going forward or are we going backwards? Are we going forward and continuing our fight against climate change and continuing to stand up for reproductive justice and continuing to fight for working people and continuing to believe in public education, or are we going back on all of those things? And not just at the top, but for the governor, and defeating those initiatives that really will drag us down so far in our budgets and in our progress and in our morale and in our ability to do anything more. So this is the time for us to get up there. And, you know, I've been thinking a lot about this election, and if only anxiety was enough to make us win, we would definitely win. But it's not enough. It's not gonna do it. Us sitting at home thinking that this is consequential won't make the difference. It's us going to the doors, and it's us talking to our neighbors, and it's us dropping the lid, and it's us asking people if they voted, or if they know how they're gonna vote, or if they put their ballot in the mail, or if they put their ballot in the drop box. That's what's gonna make the difference. And you heard Joe say it before. It's not just it makes a difference in general, but it makes a difference in this district. We're the ones who can win the governor's race. We're the ones who can defeat those initiatives. We're the ones who can be the vision for the country on where we're heading, both on policy and on politics. It happens right here. You know, they say, I don't know, I'm a fan of Hamilton because politics and Broadway, you put the two together and there's nothing better. But they talk about the room where it happens, right? That's not the legislature, that's places like this. This is the room where it happens, where we get the energy to get out there and fight for our democracy, because that's what's at stake, from the top all the way to city council, where we're gonna fight for our communities right here with Alexis. So thank you for all you do to help make sure we're going forward. We won't be taken backwards, and we're not just gonna wallow, we're gonna fight hard, and when we fight, we win!
All right, then we will wrap it up. All right, we're gonna close out first with some good of the orders, and then I'm gonna ask Jean to end the night with Kamala Harris. Any good of the orders? Yes.
Folks, you can come up.
You can come up.
If you want to stand here and just come right to the mic, it'll just save some time.
I want to take this time to remind people on 2124, typically a lot of the messaging has to do with senior care, affordability, and all of that is correct. But I can share with you as a provider, a couple in which the wife got a pneumonia, she couldn't work, and when they came to see to see me, one of the things that almost devastated them, that in their very good insurance provided by their employer, it did not cover this very specific thing in home care, the nurse visit. A visit that would have cost $90 per visit, which she needed 3 in the first week and then 2 every subsequent week. The fix for that at the time was they came to the office and I did the dressing change and drew the blood out of her central line in her arm so that they didn't have to pay that $90. This can happen to any of us. You don't have to be retired above the age. It's these gaps in our insurance that we don't know about until we are sick or we have an injury, and then someone from the office comes to explain, yes, you can go home, or you have to go home after 2 days of rehab when you need 15 or 30 or whatever it is. So I think our messaging has to remind folks that while seniors certainly stand to benefit from this, all of us who walk the streets who are subject to injury and illness also can benefit from this. So that to me is also the other part that's not as strong in the messaging behind 2124. Thank you.
The first thing I'm going to mention is that the West Seattle Democratic Women are having their gathering on October 24th. That's a Thursday evening at the West Seattle Golf Course. And we open our doors at 5:45, dinner at 6. It costs $20 or $15 if you're a member. It's delicious buffet. And we will have a program that will be Eileen Cody, who's our retired representative, and Joe McDermott, who was a retired representative and also a King County Council member. And they're going to tell a little bit about, you know, what happened behind the scenes. And also we'll say, and this is probably something we should recognize here, They will talk about Georgette Valley, who recently passed away. She was a longtime legislator from this district and did a lot of good on environmental issues. But anyway, if you are interested in coming to the West Seattle Democratic Women's meeting, gathering, please contact me, and everybody has my email address, so just give me a contact. The other thing I want to mention is the White Center Food Bank is having their fundraiser next Friday. Not this Friday, but the following Friday, October 18th. And it's in the White Center area, and if anybody wants to get the QR code, I've got it on this, and we can get you that information. So with that, I will ask, I love Atlanta.
Thank you. I got dressed in the dark. So, what can I say? A special guest we have tonight, every day for the last 60 days, from 12 noon until 2 in the afternoon, this man, my good friend Matt Burston, has stood at the main intersection in Vashon. And those of you who've been to Vashon know you can't go from anywhere on Vashon to anywhere else on Vashon without going through the main intersection. It's a very busy place. He has been out there with signs, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, Bob Ferguson, protect the Constitution. He's got an American flag, he's got a pride flag, and he has really energized people. And it's fun to go and be there with him and to see what he's doing. And I love that he's doing this because for so many people now, politics is like a TV show. It's just something you watch. And the presentation earlier about active citizenship, Matt is really demonstrating that in a big way. And so please give a warm welcome to Matt Burston, who has some things to say.
This is how you would see me most days out on the street. I do try to show up by 12 and I try to leave at 2 because I do have things in life outside of this, but it's what I knew I could do. When Biden was running for president, I would have been out there for him every day because we cannot go back. We cannot have this person be our president again. The change happened just as Kamala came in and stood to run for president. So at that time, there were no signs. There were no way for the street, for the roadsides or anything to promote Kamala. So I made my own signs. I started with a chalkboard that I made, and I could write messages that I wanted to say each day on that chalkboard and hose it off and wipe it off and do it again the next day. I would love to send you some pictures of that. I'll give you my email address if you'd like them later. And that evolved into a canvas sign that I made out of cloth and canvas. That's quite colorful. And then a friend gave me a sign that he paid for, a banner on the street, and a sign that I could hold up. And I smile and I wave to everybody who comes through that intersection, and I make eye contact. So either they smile and wave back, or they find some other way to communicate with me. I've been flipped off most days. I have been had quite a few words. I mean, there's quite a list of 4-letter words that have been said to me. But it is so heartening to be out there because mostly I get waves, thumbs up, the V for Victory sign, and honks from the horns. Vashon is a wonderful place, and I would say we're probably 80-20 as far as supporters for Kamala and the Democrats on the island. The last 20% are undecided, or they're pretty hardcore Trumpers, and they're the ones that give me a hard time. I felt threatened once. I've been threatened to be beat up once. I have, called the police on that person, which is an ongoing situation because he's quite a hothead. So, but mostly, I'll tell you, it's worth being out there because you see so many people supporting, our next president, who has to be our next president, Kamala Harris, you know. I won't talk to Shirley much longer. I think that's most of what's here. Okay. I'm gonna say just a little bit. I'm gonna say just a little bit from a friend. Kind of an edited thing that I had said to him. Being out there every day is one of the hardest things I've ever done. I'm really a shy person. It's hard to believe. People that know me believe it's hard to believe, but I'm a shy person. But I grew up terribly shy. The first 2 years on the island, I talked to no one. I knew no one except for my husband. And then I got out there and I started meeting people and volunteering and doing stuff. And this, I had never done anything like this before. But this election is so important. It's the difference between how we know America to be and this bizarre thing that MAGA and Trump want to make it into. And they will try their hardest, I believe, to do that. So I get out there every day. And today is kind of like, I'm emotionally and physically kind of worn out. I've hurt my back recently and stuff like that. So I am asking for help. If anybody can come and take the day for me, the 2 hours I'm out there, sometimes people come and stand with me for 20 minutes or an hour. But mostly on the days I'm out there alone and I can't go get a coffee, I can't go to the bathroom, you know, I'm just there. And so if anybody has the capacity to give me a break, to take over the waving of the sign and such, and my friend Dave has said that this is the time to do that, to get out there and show your support physically out there and get people. And I'm gonna be writing postcards on Friday. I'm gonna, you know, all this doorbelling, all the things that people are doing, I support 100%. But I also say that this presence on the street is real important too. It's kind of a little dangerous, I suppose, and I didn't know what response I was gonna get, but anyway, there it is. If you want to contact me, I'm at Seagod, SEAGOD 64@gmail.com, and you can ask me questions about what I'm doing, about my experiences. You can send anything you want. But anyway, thank you for all you're doing, and yes.
If someone covers for you, do they get a jacket?
Yeah. You know, there's a story on the island that has bins and bins of buttons and flags and everything else from elections way back to the 30s, you know, and he wants this jacket. I'm gonna get it eventually. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Elaine Batista, and I want to put in a plug for a program that our church is putting on. But before I do that, I want to thank Rachel Glass, where are you, Rachel? Okay, for always bringing to our attention the needs of our Indigenous neighbors, because that's what this program is about. It's our church is St. John the Baptist Episcopal Church. It's the one that's in the North Admiral District of West Seattle, right next to West Seattle High School at the corner of California and Hanford. And it's a series, and they're inviting the whole community to this. For those that are interested in learning more about the history and future of the Duwamish tribe and the effects of colonization on the Indigenous community. We pay, our faith community pays rent to the Duwamish tribe because we feel that we're on borrowed land, basically. It's not really our land. And the series has already started. It started on October 6th. But it's going to continue through November 3rd, every Sunday from 5 to 6 with different speakers One is about the effects of colonization on the Duwamish people in our area. Another is about discussing fishing and water rights and their significance and effects on Indigenous communities. And another is on the historical and ongoing medical related trauma affecting Indigenous communities. So if you're interested, the website is office, well, to get more information, you can email office@sjb, which stands for St. John Baptist, westseattle.org. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gordon Crawley. I'm the second vice chair. Just a few quick things. So since next month, our meeting is our holiday party. This is our last business meeting of the year. So we're moving into the next term of leadership of the organization. So I see a lot of new faces here, which is awesome. If you want to get involved, if you want to take on a leadership role, next year is a great opportunity. Reach out to Graham or Graham Chair. You can also reach out to me. All of our emails and everything are in our newsletter on the website. You can contact us, let us know what you're interested in. Even if there's not a specific position you have in mind, if there's a general category of things that you're interested in doing, we can probably plug you in this up. So thank you for being here. Hopefully you'll get involved. Second thing, City of Seattle and King County are in the midst of their budget. And they both have participatory budget processes. So if there's something you want to advocate for to get funded, reach out to your elected official and lean on them to get that thing funded. Hopefully they listen. And then third thing, in case you missed it, when Graham mentioned it, Seattle has the Amazing Democracy Voucher Program. Alexis is in the back. If you haven't assigned your vouchers to a candidate, please make your way back there and assign your vouchers to it. Thanks.
Give it ourselves a big hand for 3 inches of postcards. That's nearly 300. Congratulations. When we fight, we win.
Hello everyone again. I just wanted to let you know that there is a resource that may be helpful to some of you. We've got a ballot, a voter's pamphlet that's going to talk about all the candidates, all the issues, and everybody on the ballot. Sometimes for some folks that is difficult to, when you receive this novel in the mail, it's literally about 340 pages or something like that. It's huge. If you need help, there is an audio version of the voter's pamphlet, which means it is read by professional readers. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that I'm a female voice on the audio version of the voter's pamphlet. I've been doing it since 2013. So anyway, I just want to let you all know that if you need information, if you want to learn about the candidates or the issues, all the information is in the voter's pamphlet and it's read to you. So if you are blind or if you have visually impaired or physically impaired otherwise, that makes it difficult for you to read the paper version, go online, sos.gov, and they have a link where you can go to the audio version of the voter's pamphlet. There was something else that I wanted to tell you about, and I completely cannot remember it. But so I just wanted to let you know about that resource because it's voting time now. Did you have a question?
I would suggest when you're telling that's the truest way. Fuse short. Yeah.
And it's accessible online? Progressive Voters Guide. I guess you can Google it and it'll take you right to it. And what that resource does is does it give endorsements or does it just explain? So the Progressive Voters Guide is it's a well-reputed source that talks about the candidates and the issues, and it also gives some endorsement, like suggestions, of how they might want you to vote or how they would vote. So that is another, option too, if you're looking for more information and just learning about the issues. So, if I think of this other thing, I'll just tell you individually, but thanks, everybody.
Shout outs, October 26th, I think is the last Friday of the month. We're meeting at Prost. October theme, for our pop-up social. So we'd love to see a bunch of you there. Go canvas a bit and then come get a beer. That would be a good idea. And then I just want to let everybody know I'm heading to Montana Friday night to canvas for 4 days for John Tester. So there's a lot of red going on in that area, but I'm excited to go.
We need to send.
Bozeman. Yeah, there's two Montana trips. So if you're ever interested in doing this, they run, Common Power as an organization, and they run sort of field trips to all the swing states and the difficult races that we want to win. And go for like 4 days and hardcore doorbell. It's really fun. I haven't done it yet, but I hear it's very fun. And it's a good cause. So we need to get out the vote everywhere. Common Power. Yes. I went to Michigan. Yeah, there's a Pennsylvania trip. There's North Carolina. Stuff going on all the time. So let me know if you're interested.
All right, we're gonna do the last 6 signs, and then I'm gonna have Jane do one last time. Wait, Lane Batista, Stephen Lempier, Ann Martin, Matt Bursky. Get another sign to wave. All right, Bob Morano and Earl Scott. All right.
I'll share.
The state party.
All right. So I'm curious, how many of you are feeling a little anxious? Yeah. And how many of you are also feeling a bit excited? Yeah. I think it's important that we tap into that excitement. And I'm hoping that this poem will help do that for you. I wrote it the day after Biden handed the reins to Kamala Harris. And then I've added to it a bit since. It's called For Kamala, For Us. The floodgates opened. We had no idea how stressed we were until you arrived. That breath of relief, a gush of support. Kamala, we can do this. We steer away from putrid snarls, unseemly, illegal behavior that brings out the worst in us. Down to the dungeon, we no longer need to go. We've been shrouded in darkness more than we could know. But now we lift our hopes for the future. Lofty ideas become reality. We care for our earth that has been crying, now shouting at us to treat it with respect. We can do this. Dipping precariously close to the handmaid's tale, close enough to make us wail. Women's lives and choices no longer bound by a group of haughty old men. We found our leader to set us free with a clear voice, a strong heart, and yes, a hearty laugh. We can do this. We appreciate our underappreciated Joe. He served us well and handed the torch just in time for us to find our momentum, to find our voice and demand freedom for all. We can do this. You found your perfect partner in Tim Walls. His every fiber exudes goodwill and cheer, a Santa Claus to right the wrongs of the right. You can't help but smile when he jumps into sight. And then the debate. Spewing lies, cats and dogs and Haitians, oh my. Inconceivable, this race is still close to a tie. As we teeter towards the edge of history, the bloated puppeteer, strings breaking, but support remaining is a mystery. Inconceivable, the weight of the world rests in so few hands. But as we careen forward, we will band together for Harrison Walls, and we will waltz together with joy and smash to smithereens that glass ceiling that has been cemented together for way too long. And as the pieces of that ceiling float down around us with open arms and eyes that shine, for the first time, we will hear the words we have been aching for. Madam President, President Kamala Harris. Kamala, 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 even your name, which is easy to say, calls us awake to do something. Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. Yes, we can, and yes, we will.
All right, now there's no further business and no objection. The meeting is adjourned at 8:24 p.m. Let's go win this.